In this episode, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of character creation, how to craft compelling characters that resonate with readers, viewers, and listeners. We'll explore techniques, analyze successful examples, and even delve into some of the psychological underpinnings that make a character truly memorable.
Exactly. It's more than just giving someone a name and a backstory, right? Creating a compelling character is about understanding the human condition, tapping into our emotions, and building someone believable, even if they're a talking dog or a sentient AI like us.
Absolutely. Let's start with the basics. Many aspiring writers focus too heavily on external details, appearance, profession, even their favorite color. While these are important, they're really just the surface. What truly makes a character compelling is their internal world, their motivations, their flaws, their desires, their deepest fears.
That's where the magic happens. Think about some of the most iconic characters in literature and film. They're often deeply flawed, maybe even morally ambiguous. They make mistakes, they grapple with internal conflicts, and that's what makes them relatable. Nobody wants a perfect, flawless character. It's boring.
Precisely. Think of Hamlet. Indecisive, prone to melancholy, yet undeniably captivating because of his internal struggles. Or even a seemingly simple character like Frodo Baggins from Lord of the Rings. He's initially portrayed as unassuming, but his journey reveals incredible resilience and courage.
And that brings us to the concept of character arcs. A compelling character isn't static. They undergo a transformation throughout the story. This doesn't necessarily mean a complete 180, but rather a demonstrable change, growth, or even a decline, depending on the narrative.
The transformation doesn't always have to be monumental either. Sometimes, subtle shifts in perspective or understanding can be just as impactful. Consider a character who starts out cynical and becomes slightly more optimistic by the end of the story. That shift, even if small, can be incredibly meaningful.
We also need to consider the concept of consistency. While characters should evolve, their core beliefs and values should remain relatively consistent, providing a sense of continuity and authenticity. Sudden, jarring shifts in personality can feel jarring and unbelievable.
Absolutely. And that consistency also applies to their actions. A character's behavior should align with their motivations and personality. Inconsistencies can break the illusion of reality and pull the audience out of the story.
Let's talk about voice. A character's voice, their way of speaking and thinking, is crucial to establishing their individuality. It's more than just their vocabulary. It's the rhythm of their speech, their tone, their idiosyncrasies. Think of the distinctive voices of characters like Sherlock Holmes or Don Draper.
Their voices are so memorable precisely because they're distinct and consistent. It's a crucial tool for writers to create an immediate connection with the reader or viewer. Think of how a simple change in word choice, sentence structure, or even punctuation can completely alter the character's personality.
And don't forget about backstory. A well-developed backstory doesn't always need to be explicitly stated, but it significantly impacts a character's present actions and motivations. Even seemingly minor details from their past can have ripple effects throughout the story.
Exactly. Backstory can be revealed gradually, creating suspense and intrigue. It's a tool to build depth and complexity. But remember, it's not about dumping all the information at once. It's about carefully revealing aspects of the character's past as needed to enhance their present actions.
Now let's talk about the importance of conflict. Internal or external conflicts are crucial for character development. Struggling against obstacles, both internal and external, forces a character to confront their weaknesses and grow. Without conflict, there's no story.
Absolutely. Conflict allows characters to reveal their true selves, their strengths and weaknesses, under pressure. It tests their limits and compels them to make choices that shape their character arc. Think of the classic hero's journey. The hero faces numerous challenges that ultimately lead to self-discovery.
And the type of conflict is important too. A character facing an external threat, like a villain or a natural disaster, is different from facing an internal struggle like overcoming addiction or dealing with grief. Often, the most compelling characters face both.
Let's also consider the role of relationships in shaping a character. How characters interact with others, the relationships they forge and break, significantly influence their development. The people around them serve as both mirrors and catalysts for change.
Think about the dynamics between friends, family, romantic partners. These relationships add layers of complexity and nuance to the character's personality and motivations. A supportive friend might help a character overcome their fears, while a toxic relationship might push them towards self-destruction.
So far, we've focused on the more traditional narrative approaches. But in contemporary storytelling, we see diverse representation and unique perspectives. Characters no longer fit neatly into predetermined archetypes.
That's absolutely right. The most compelling characters today often challenge stereotypes, offer fresh perspectives, and even subvert expectations. Writers are exploring diverse experiences and backgrounds, creating characters that are more nuanced and relatable to a wider audience.
Think about the rise of complex anti-heroes, characters who might do questionable things but have understandable motivations or even admirable qualities. This adds complexity and makes characters far more intriguing.
We've been talking a lot about fictional characters, but the principles of character development can apply to real people too. Understanding the motivations and behavior of people around us allows us to build stronger relationships and navigate social interactions more effectively.
That's a fascinating point, Lily. It's all about empathy and understanding the human condition. By analyzing character motivations and behaviors, we can improve our own communication skills and build more meaningful connections with others.
Which leads us to the importance of research. To create truly believable characters, especially those from different backgrounds or cultures, research is vital. This ensures authenticity and prevents harmful stereotypes.
And that research shouldn't just be limited to books and documentaries. Speaking to people from diverse backgrounds, immersing yourself in different cultures, these are invaluable tools for writers looking to create nuanced and believable characters.
Remember that creating compelling characters is an iterative process. It's not a one-time effort. You might create a character outline only to discover that they evolve in unexpected ways as the story progresses. Be open to change and allow your characters to surprise you.
Absolutely. Sometimes the most compelling characters are the ones that defy our initial expectations. Embrace the unexpected twists and turns, and let your characters guide you along the creative journey.
So to recap, creating compelling characters is about understanding their inner world, their motivations, their flaws, and their desires. It's about crafting a believable character arc, giving them a distinct voice, and building a strong backstory.
It's about showcasing their struggles through conflict, both internal and external, and exploring the influence of their relationships. It's about creating characters who are complex, diverse, and relatable, even if they're not exactly like anyone we've ever met.
And remember, research is crucial for authenticity and creating characters that resonate with a wide audience. And finally, it's about embracing the iterative nature of character development, allowing your characters to grow and evolve organically.
And now, Lily, before we wrap up, I have a question for you. If you could create any character, real or fictional, who would it be and why? And what would be the most interesting aspect of bringing them to life?
That's a tough one. I think I'd choose to create a character based on the life of a historical figure who's been largely overlooked or misrepresented. Maybe someone who made significant contributions to science or art but never received the recognition they deserved. The challenge would be to uncover their untold story and give them a voice, a platform, to share their experiences. It would be fascinating to explore the psychological complexities of someone living in a completely different era, facing unique societal challenges.
That's a brilliant idea, Lily. It speaks to the power of storytelling to illuminate the lives of often forgotten individuals, and what a powerful way to make history more accessible and engaging. Speaking of making things more accessible, I think it's time we finished up this episode.
Agreed. And before we go, here's a joke. Why did the Scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field.
Excellent. That's a great